why passing the bar exam will no longer be a requirement to become an attorney in Washington state. So prospective lawyers will no longer have to pass the bar exam to work in Washington. The state Supreme Court ruled in a pair of orders authorizing alternative pathways to licensing. The exam, quote, disproportionately and unnecessarily blocks marginalized groups from entering the practice of law and is at best minimally effective for ensuring competent lawyers. The Bar Licensure Task Force determined. In addition to the racism and classism written into the test itself, the time and financial costs of the test reinforce historical inequities in our profession, the task force wrote in its proposal for the change, released last month. Washington Supreme Court appointed the task force to study alternative ways to show competency in 2020, after pandemic-related modifications caused many to question the efficacy of the current exam, according to the Washington Administrative Office of the Courts. The goal was to improve trust in the legal profession, reduce barriers to entry into the legal field, and advance the cause of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity, inclusion, equity. I'm on board with Gavin McInnes. Call it DIE, because that's how you kill a society. Yep. So, this is a trend lately that's been going on, where people are like, they're changing like the requirements for jobs, like even like police forces now. You know, they want to get like more women into police jobs. So they change the physical requirements. You know, now they're changing intellectual requirements. I mean, they've been doing that in colleges for a while. And I'm sorry, if you want a lawyer, you want somebody who knows the law, don't you? You want somebody who could pass an exam. You know, that was the point of like tests. That's the point of fitness standards. Like in the Navy, you know, you need to do a certain number of sit-ups, push-ups, and run a certain amount and stuff like that. These are standards. It's not because, you know, running and doing push-ups is what, you know, naval warfare is about. It's a proof that you are strong and capable and, you know, able to do the job, physically able to do the job. And that's why there should be physical requirements for the police, and that's why there should be intellectual requirements for people who do like intellectual things, like surgeons and pilots and attorneys. All right? You start getting rid of them because you say, hey, there's not enough black people up here, or whatever absurd racist thing that you got going on in your mind. You know, you say, we need to take a meritocracy away. That way we can chock it full like it's a modern sitcom where every demographic is represented. Life isn't like that. You know, why don't you go to like the NBA, go to the NBA and say, we need 63% of white people on these teams because that's the demographics of the country. We need to do that. And then all of a sudden basketball scores start going down. The games get lame. Nobody wants to watch them. WNBA is gaining more followers because nobody's watching the regular NBA. That's the point. You take away the meritocracy. You know, I don't care. I don't care if only, you know, a 3-foot-tall blind men make the best pilots. If they pass the tests and they can do all them simulators and stuff like that, being blind, and they can still do it, then they're the best person for that job. You don't say we need to have some sort of diversity hire up here, so we're going to fudge the numbers on their tests. We're going to fudge the numbers on their PT tests, on their exams, because we need more representation. When you do that, people die. Now, granted, these are just attorneys, but we're talking about, you know, any kind of industry like aircraft, the police. People are going to die. And if you say you want more female cops, you're going to get a lot of women killed trying to do that. Idiots. World's full of idiots. You know, it's funny because I was thinking about how my show isn't popular at all. And I was thinking that because, you know, only like 1% of the population even thinks about this kind of stuff. So, like, that's why people check out in the second half of the show. Because they're like, who cares what you think about the news?
Oh, wait, news?
Yeah, news. Ugh. What do you do with your brains? And that's really the issue, is that this world is chock full of morons. Oh my God. That's going to get me some subscribers. Let's go to this next story.